Hunting is supposed to be peaceful. A time to disconnect from the noise of everyday life and reconnect with nature. But deep in the woods, far from civilization, some hunters have come across things they can't explain, things that defy logic, and haunt them long after they've left the forest. These are 5 true stories from experienced hunters who encountered something strange, something terrifying. Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and get ready. These stories are not for the faint of heart. Story 1, The Whistling Echo, Gary. I've been hunting since I was 15, and I've always followed one rule: don't hunt alone at night. But 2 years ago, I broke that rule. I needed time away, and the woods had always been a kind of therapy for me. It was mid-November, temperature around 3 degrees Celsius, the air dry and still. I parked my truck at the edge of the forest I'd hunted dozens of times. No city nearby, just trees and silence. I took my rifle, my gear, and walked in about 2 kilometers before setting up camp. Nothing seemed unusual. Around 1:30 a.m., I woke up to a sound I couldn't place. It wasn't an animal or a branch snapping. It was a whistle. Clear, human-like, and echoing. 1, 2, 3 notes, like a melody someone tried to keep soft. At first I thought maybe another hunter was camping nearby, but I hadn't seen a single other person that day. I stayed inside my tent, heart racing, listening. It happened again. Same pattern. But this time, it was closer. I unzipped the tent as slowly as I could and scanned the tree line with my flashlight. Nothing. No eye shine. No movement. Just the whistle, again, this time directly to my left, way too close. I grabbed my rifle, packed what I could in seconds, and started moving back toward my truck. As I walked, I heard it behind me. Not footsteps, just leaves shifting, steady and paced. Every 20 to 30 seconds, the whistle. I never looked back. I made it to my truck, slammed the door, and drove off. The strange thing? When I returned the next week with a friend, we couldn't find my tent poles. Everything else was there, folded neatly in a pile. Story 2, The Standing Man, Luster. This happened in 2017. I was out with my uncle, an old-school hunter. We stayed in a small wooden cabin deep in public hunting land. No plumbing, no power, just lanterns and firewood. The third night in, we both went to sleep early. I remember waking up suddenly, like something had pulled me out of a dream. I checked my watch, 3:08 a.m. The fire had burned out. The room was freezing. I turned to see my uncle, wide awake, sitting up on his bed, staring at the cabin's only window. "You see that?" he whispered. I got up slowly and looked. There was a figure standing just outside. Not moving. Not swaying. Just standing. I couldn't make out a face, but the shape was clear. Tall. Broad. Human. We stayed frozen for maybe 10 minutes. Then, like a switch flipped, the figure turned and walked slowly into the tree line. Not rushed. Not sneaky. Like it wanted us to see it. At dawn, we stepped outside. No prints in the frost. None. Story 3, The Tree That Moved, Brendam. I was tracking a buck one morning, real early, before sunrise. Light fog. Cold as hell. I was about 3.5 kilometers deep when I saw something that made me stop. There was a large tree up ahead, dead, bark stripped clean. But it wasn't there before. I'd walked this exact path 2 days earlier. That tree wasn't there. I was sure. Curious, I walked toward it. The closer I got, the more I realized it wasn't a tree. It was something else. Too smooth, too straight. No branches. Then it moved. Just slightly. Like it breathed. I turned and walked the other direction without even thinking. I didn't run. I didn't want it to chase me, whatever it was. I made it back to my stand and waited there until noon before hiking out. Every time I think back, I remember that detail, the smell. Like burned plastic and wet leaves. Story 4, The Silence Drop, Hernandez. I hunt with my father every winter. We've got a favorite spot near a shallow creek that cuts through a pine valley. One day, around 6 p.m., we split up to cover more ground. I climbed into my stand and waited. Around 7:45, the forest went silent. Completely. No wind. No birds. Not even the usual rustling from small animals. It was like someone hit mute on the world. I checked my phone. No signal. I looked around. Then I noticed movement across the creek, someone walking slowly, almost gliding. It wasn't my dad. This person had no light, no gear, no clear face. I blinked, and they were gone. I radioed my dad, but got only static. After maybe 10 minutes, all the sound came back at once, like a wave crashing. My ears popped like I'd changed altitude. That night, my dad said he'd heard the same silence from his end, miles away. No explanation. Story 5, The Cabin in the Clearing, Jack. I was solo hunting, way deeper than I should have been. My GPS was glitching, so I just kept pushing forward. Eventually, I stumbled onto a clearing I'd never seen before. Right in the middle was a cabin. Old, rotting. No trail leading to it. No signs of recent life. Curiosity got the better of me, so I stepped in. Floorboards creaked. Dust in the air. On the far wall, there was a table with something carved into it. "He lives here." I backed out immediately. As I turned to leave the clearing, I swear I heard footsteps inside the cabin. I didn't look back. I ran. I didn't stop until I found my truck. The next week, I tried to go back with 2 friends. We searched the entire area. Nothing. No cabin. No clearing. It's like it was never there. Some things in the woods can't be explained. No matter how much we try to rationalize them, they stay with us, quiet, unresolved, and always waiting in the back of our minds. If you've ever experienced something strange in the wilderness, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed these stories, consider liking the video and subscribing for more real accounts of the unexplained. Until next time, stay safe, and never ignore your instincts out there.